So if you think that you cannot manage all the tasks in a day, or you end up doing all the lower end tasks but actually you are missing what is basically to manage the critical tasks in a day, or if you think is that 24 hours is not enough for you to complete all the tasks or all the activities, so then what you are missing is basically you are missing the management of time. So everyone has 24 hours of time, but how do we manage our time? That is basically important, to feel good at the end of the day, or to be successful. So in this video I will talk about how to manage time effectively and how to do some kind of using techniques you can improve your life. So let's go for that. The most powerful technique to maintain time is maintaining a list. It is simple but very effective. Now there are different journals or different mobile app by which you can maintain this list, but you can also do it in a piece of paper. So what you need to do is basically the evening or the night before that day, you need to write down all your to-do items. So in that way, in the previous day itself, you can start thinking about the micro items in your to-do list. And if you cannot do it, that is also fine. You can do it in the first tasks in the day. You can maintain the 80-20 rule in setting the priority of the items in your list. And 80-20 rule says about that 20% of your item having the importance of 80% of the task. That means if you make a list of 10 items, then out of that 10 items there are 2 items which is very important in your list, and if you can achieve that 2 items, or if you can complete that 2 items, that will give you the 80% result throughout. So in that way you can prioritize the list. Now I will talk about the technique by which you can set the priority. There is a technique called ABCDE approach. Now ABCDE approach is basically nothing but grouping your task in 5 blocks or in 5 groups: Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D and Group E. Group A is basically you can keep the your must do task in the Group A, and these groups are being organized based on the consequence of your task. That means the Group A task, you have the highest consequence. If you miss that, then there will be a serious consequence. So you have to do this, and this is your critical items in the list. Next thing is that Group B. Group B is basically your should do kind of activities, where you have to this, and it is not critical but it has some consequence associated with it. Then goes the Group C. C is basically nice to have something. For example, you can do some social media check throughout the day. You can check the Facebook, Instagram and all these things. You can also go for a coffee break with your friends. Those items can be missed. There is no consequence for that, but it is nice to have. You can get a little bit of relaxation for that. Then comes a Group D. D is basically the delegation. Delegation is basically some of the tasks you can give those tasks, you can share those tasks with your friends or your family members. They can also do it with the same efficiency, but you can offload your task. E is the Group E is basically eliminate those tasks. Please do not do those tasks, even though you maintain it in the to-do list, but please eliminate, so that they are very low-end tasks. And even if you do not do that for days or for months, it should be fine. So this goes for the ABCDE approach for maintaining and prioritizing your task in your to-do list. Now if you have multiple tasks in a particular group, if you have multiple must-do tasks or multiple should-do tasks, then you can do a instead of doing Group A, you can write A1, A2, A3. In that way you can further put priority on group A items. A1 goes first and then A2 and then A3. Similarly, for the should do task, you can do B1, B2, B3. You can go further onto that. Even for further subtask, you can do A1.1, AB.2, this kind of way. So I'm sure that if you practice this technique, that will give you 25 to 30% productivity boost in your task, and you should achieve all the tasks in your to-do items. If not, then you can pre-plan for the task for the next day as a part of to-do list. With that, Subhasish Chakraborti signing off.